Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Mango the GOAT. This is another mental liberation moment. And this is the IIP. IIP stands for Involuntary Immigrants Podcast. Whenever you have a very wealthy nation, the ones in the bottom classes seem more impoverished versus when you have a very poor nation, the classes at the bottom seem closer to equality. My great brother of mine, he has this dream to introduce trading to our people in the bottom class as a tool to get out that bracket. Now, truthfully, I'm willing to offer my platform, whatever I can do to support my brother, even though I don't believe it'll work. It'll work for some, but for the majority, I don't think it'll work. It's not because I think niggas won't understand anything like that, but they have been taught that's white people shit for a lot of them, right? And do not trust it or don't trust gambling in the market. To them, the underground markets are more reliable and in sight. You get what I'm saying? Like, although they're gambling much more than their money in the underground market, it's more reachable to them. See, but the truth is, in the underground market, you're playing with your life. See, but only in poverty are you the most willing to risk your life, because anything is better than here. It's like that scene in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, where they said, "You sold your soul to the devil? You know, why would you do that?" And the black dude said, "Well, hell, I wasn't using it." See, and to go back to the statement I made about the poorer nations, well, imagine you're a family of 10 in a house, and if everybody is starving, there may be some resentment to the heads of the household for not being able to supply, but it's more equality because, shit, we all hungry together. And if we do get food, we divide it equally. See, if we don't divide it equally, we'll say just the head of the house eat and everybody watch him eat, right? Or watch her eat and everybody else is starving. See, this is a form of corruption. And it's going to end in a rebellion from the people who starving the most, but yet they full as fuck with envy. See, America at times is an example of this. One of the wealthiest nations has this poverty problem, but also it's an envious problem. Also, it's a dependency problem, and it's a submission problem in the lower classes. See, now the submission problem, we're going to dabble in first. See, the submission problem comes about in the ideology that this system is rigged against me, so fuck it. I'm meant to be in the ghetto. I ain't meant to do shit. I ain't gonna never be shit. What's the point of trying to get out with that mentality? If you got the mentality, what's the point? There ain't no point in school. Fuck it. It's meant for me to, there's no point in getting a trade, so whatever. You know, they see no pros for them in society, except in sports. And, you know, we real good in the media, not we, but the world's real good where, you know, the black people you see that's successful, most of the time they're professional athletes. So there's no pros. You know, I'm talking pros and cons, but it's also a play on word. There's no pros except for the athletes in a lot of these people's mind. And, you know, here's something I always say. This is one reason why I say get your babies, especially sons, involved in sports or some extracurricular activity, because even the yearning of going pro can drastically change the motivation for education. Well, also, you know, building character, because, you know, your peers influence you sometimes more than your parents. So if you got your son out there, you in poverty and there's nothing going on in your neighborhood but bad shit, it's better to have your son go to football practice and be around some kids who got some college dreams or something, and these become his peers. So a lot of times when our babies get bad grades, we want to snatch them from the team. But when you snatch them from the team, all the productive boys are still out there practicing. So he's hanging around boys who don't do shit for extracurricular activity because they're going to find friendship somewhere, right? So the submission part of this is important because the submission mindset leads to the two other problems. You know, being an impoverished person who has become submissive to the poverty, one route taken is often that of dependency. Now, it could be dependency of a man, substance, or even government and government programs. Now, there's nothing wrong with receiving help from the government if you need it. But if you're able-bodied and able-minded, but you refuse to take care of yourself independently, you fucking up. And now you became a parasite. That means you need a host to survive. And you see, these government programs, they're meant to do that. They're meant to take able-bodied and mind people who accept them, cripple you, make you dependent. So when they need your vote, they tell you their competition or whoever they're running against, he wants to take away all of that. You'll have to go work. And then now you're thinking, shit, I done been on these programs for so long, I don't think I can do nothing else no more. So they say, yeah, well, you better vote for us because they're going to take all that away. They're going to take your host away if you don't support us. See, you just got pimped. You a disgusting whore now. It make you feel sticky. It make you feel like, Truth is, those programs, if those programs were stripped from you, you have to find a way to survive, in which you would, which actually makes you develop some form of trade. See, I see people, right, getting disability checks that are perfectly healthy, that can easily work at Sam's, Costco, fast food, telemarketing. It's some kind of job that can be had. But the mindset is, well, I'm going to get up and go to work and I can get this free money. I'm going to get this free money. But that free money got a clause to it where you can't do no other jobs like legally and all this and that. You got to do under the table shit. You got to you gonna get a government check and sell pussy on the side or something like that. See, it's crippling you. It's stopping you from becoming a productive member of society. You can't become a productive member of society. You become a dependent of society. You see? So to get into the third problem, and the third problem is envy, becoming envious. When the envy has a level of entitlement to it, it becomes most dangerous. This is that mindset of, somebody got to explain to me why I ain't got shit. Somebody got to tell me why I ain't got nothing. Instead of you asking yourself and understanding, it's yourself as the blame of why you ain't got shit. See, these normally become the mindset of your scammers, your thieves, and your robbers. They look at the classes above them in envy, but because the initial problem I mentioned, they will not do what's required to become successful. They utilize, instead, this mindset or ideology that the fastest way to come up is to take something. Somebody got to explain to me why I ain't got shit. See, and a little bit toned down from that, this is also where the drug dealer comes in. And now the thing with drug dealers that I always notice, with that same amount of intelligence, motivation, time, drive, and desire applied to a trade as they put into dealing in the first place and selling dope, legitimately, they would be nothing less than middle class and not have to look over their shoulder or worry about the cops and this and that. See, but most don't believe, don't want to believe, or hope not to believe this real shit I just dropped. Don't try dumb shit. Try impossible shit. Yeesh. Until next time, thanks for listening. Peace.
Do you remember writing in your diary that freedom is the freedom to say 2 and 2 make 4?
Yes.
How many fingers am I holding up, Winston?
4.
And if the party says it is not 4 but 5, then
4.
180. How many? 190. How many fingers, Winston?
4. 5. 4. Anything you like. Only stop the pain. Stop.
Involuntary. Done contrary to or without choice. Involuntary.
Immigrant.
Done contrary
Definition
to
1.
or without choice.
Person who immigrates.
Involuntary.
Immigrant.
Done contrary
Definition
to
1.
or without choice.
Person who comes
Done contrary to or without choice. Done contrary to or without choice. Done contrary to or without choice.
Definition 1. Immigrant. Definition 1. Unknown. Person who established. Definition unknown. Unknown. Established.
Trying to free your mind.
What white people have to do is try to find out in their own hearts why it was necessary to have a nigger in the first place. But if you think I'm a nigger, it means you need it. The question you got to ask yourself, the white population of this country's got to ask itself, North and South, because it's one country, and for a Negro, there is no difference between North and the South. There's just a difference in a way they castrate you.
Who taught you to hate yourself?
Involuntary. Done contrary to or without choice. Immigrant. Definition 1. A person who immigrates. Definition 2. A plant or animal that becomes established where it was previously unknown.